Hello all, Oli here, and welcome to Occult Transylvania episode 2. Here on this fresh new vlog series, we'll explore random sets of topics from the occult, the spirit, supernatural, the unknown, and things to help you on your own journey as practitioner. I am a practicing occultist from Transylvania, hence the name. So whatever topic here that we'll randomly explore in the upcoming future, it is meant to help you on your own journey, start a conversation, and just make it a fun way of sharing this weird world that we all experience and my own personal experiences dealing with it. On today's episode, I want to touch up on skepticism, healthy skepticism, and what I like to call sacred skepticism. Some of it's the origins of the term skepticism and why it's important to have it in our practices and in our daily lives. As you can see, it's a bleeding, boiling heat wave here in Central Eastern Europe. And last time we talked about meditating on going further than the sun. Instead of fighting against the discomfort of the environment, to use it into our advantage to go beyond its noise. And I was meditating a lot recently about all the noise, because there's a lot of noise everywhere in the outer world right now. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less, but there's always going to be noise. To really go beyond the noise, you have to go very far away from human civilization in the wilderness, and have some gnarly self-initiatory experiences in places of absolute absence. Here, what I've noticed is, we all get excited when people learn more about astrology, and then you realize, oh, it works. Or you get synchronicities in your life, and oh my God, this is actually happening. You start learning various aspects of magic, of various types of religious practices, you name it. It's a lot of these experiences in a very nebulous, varied field of topics. One of the most important things to keep in mind is to have one foot in reality, in temporal reality, to be grounded, and another to explore out there. If you go too further out, delusion sets in, a confirmation bias, something that we all are very humanly vulnerable to. And before you know it, everything becomes a synchronicity, everything becomes a divine meaning, a divine sign, and then nothing is that sacred anymore. Skepticism, not in the term used modernly to debunk something. It's not about debunking this, debunking that, being overly materialistic in that sense. But the etymology of skepticism comes from doubt, having doubt and disbelief. But no, I'm not saying in a negative sense. It goes back to ancient Greek terms of skepsis, which is, from how I remember, a follower of the school of skeptic and Pyrrhon. And this is an ancient Greek mystery school that challenges the concept of reality can never be truly known. This is one of the things that it really helps me understand Kabbalah, for example, and contemplative mysticism. It's the fact that this reality, governed by time, is imperfect. And us, as human beings, being a part of this imperfect creation, are inherently imperfect and cannot ever know 100% of anything. And that is not something to be ashamed of or feel bleh about. It is something to celebrate. The fact that there's always going to be some mystery that needs to be explored. You'll never, in relationships, you'll never get to understand the other person fully. No way. You yourself can never truly understand yourself. So this process, when I'm talking about pure magic, is the art of constant self-actualization. Here, our conscious mind always deals with the subconscious and interacts with the superfluous, misunderstood, imperfect world. And this ancient Greek tradition that inevitably comes from older things and older things and older things is about, hey, I cannot be completely certain of something. I'm not saying to mistrust and disbelieve everything you see, because that is completely ruinous in a different way. This is about having that framework of observance, to not be absorbed by the outside too much. Always, whenever you start having personal experiences that are ecstatic in nature, that are transcendental, you always have to have a foot in, is it not? That observing space, that skepticism, that sacred skepticism is actually a tool of protection to not lose yourself into something. Yeah. So I want to explore this topic further and further later and later. But what I want to leave for anyone listening here today is, worldly things keep happening. This decade is full of unpredictability, uncertainty. And for example, in astrology, there's always this hype about predicting this and predicting that. That's fine and all. What's the point of it? What's the why behind it? So the skepticism, the sacred skepticism, allows us to not be grabbed by the events itself, by the whoa, I could foretell something in the future. It's like predicting, after summer, autumn happens, and after autumn, winter. It's wonderful. It's something to be in awe of, not too much in awe. Sacred skepticism is that tool that will help us be grounded, because the ground is actually the connecting tissue between us and divinity. We'll talk further upon that. But again, in astrology is, for example, that when you start seeing synchronicities everywhere, repeating numbers over and over and over and over again, you are co-creating this. Your mind has already been in tune to that, to observe it. Have to disengage a bit in a healthy sense. Not everything is a sign from something else. Not every light in the sky is a UFO, UAP. Not every knock in the walls at night is some entity. Every time in the woods, not everything is something else. You know what I mean? So what I want to present again today, and we'll talk more about it, sacred skepticism keeps you healthy, keeps you safe, keeps you grounded, keeps you aware and observant of the reality around you, and not be falling into the pits of delusional, cognitive, cognitively you just create these bubbles. Looking forward to more of this. I hope this all serves you well on your own journey. We're here to help each other on your own journey of self-actualization. And the last message I always want to start leaving here for everyone is, remember you die. Don't waste time on that. Remember you die. Every moment is sacred and not fragile, but something to truly take advantage of. Cheers.